Hey everybody, how you doing? We're here today to do a real quick video regarding the letter filed today by Laura Nirider. Basically, it's a response to Brad Schimmel's citation of additional authority, where he cited an extra case that he felt strengthened his claim that Brendan wasn't coerced. It's the case that he cited was Murdoch versus Dorothy. Anyways, if you see my my video that I did about it, you can go check it out. But anyways, moving on to what this says. Under federal rule, the appellate procedure, appealee submits this response to the respondent's letter addressing Murdoch versus Dorothy. In Murdoch, petitioner's voluntariness argument boiled down to one factor: his youthfulness. This court rejected that argument because the state court considered Murdoch's age, as well as, relatedly, the absence of an adult during the interrogation as part of the totality of the circumstances test. Limited by AEDPA, this court explained that it would not reweigh this factor to determine reasonableness. The respondent's reliance on Murdoch is entirely misplaced. In granting petitioner Dassey relief, the district court did not simply assign a different weight to a voluntariness factor that had already been considered by the state court. Rather, it found the Wisconsin Court of Appeals fact-finding and application of the totality test unreasonable because the state court had erroneously concluded that no promises of leniency had been made, when in fact such promises were made over and over. This error prevented the state court from weighing this factor at all. Indeed, the Wisconsin Court of Appeals unreasonably ignored the videotaped evidence showing not only the making of such promises, but also Brendan's subsequent specific understanding that he would return to school after confessing. Murdoch does not address, moreover, the law regarding false promises and leniency or coercion, much less when such tactics are used on vulnerable suspects like a 16-year-old intellectually disabled Dassey. This law underscored the district court's grant of relief and the question presented for the court's review. Indeed, both law and practice demonstrate that any reasonable court would have objected to the promise at issue. Even amicus curiae, Wicklander, Zawalski and Associates, one of the leading police interrogation training firms in the country, uses footage of Brendan's interrogation as a classic example of what not to do during interrogation when they train officers. The state court's decision to turn a blind eye to such tactics cannot be deemed reasonable, nor does Murdoch excuse it. Sincerely, Laura H. Nirider. And I basically agree with her there, because what she's basically saying is that Murdoch's totality of circumstances, number one, doesn't really relate to Brendan's, but what they're talking about with Brendan is not reweighing factors of the totality of circumstance. They're saying that it should basically never have gotten to the totality of circumstances by the AEDPA because he was made a false promise, and that's an automatically it should be made involuntary because of false promises. So it should never have gotten to the totality of circumstances test to begin with. Anyways, I wanted to show this, the Northwestern Law letterhead. I just think it's pretty impressive. You see all the people involved, all the various people involved with their programs here. I mean, all these various different departments that they have. Some are youth advocacy and children and family justice center. There's a wrongful, somewhere right here, I'm a mouse over the wrongful conviction. There we go. The wrongful conviction center. I mean, it's amazing. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying, Brendan was clearly made a promise on November 6th. He was promised during the interrogation on March 1st. And, yeah, it's obvious. So Laura Nirider is right. So, hey, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe. And we'll obviously be back with another video soon. We'll talk to you.